Welcome, guys, to another episode of AlatrEd. We are so excited to be on this show, and this show is actually my offering to the Lord, where I absolutely don't know who is listening to this podcast, but I religiously come with my wife and do this podcast to be a blessing to the universal body of Christ. So, welcome to AlatrEd. Which is being showcased in Power Vision TV and all my social media platforms. Today we have a very, very special guest and a dear friend of mine, a dear brother. We have Pastor Joseph Raj Allam. And I still remember my wife was making fun of me when I said I called him Alam the first time, but it's actually Allam. Yeah. So I asked forgiveness for that many years ago. And many of you would have seen this face, and he has been, I think, taking the country by storm by his beautiful song that's called Sadaa Raja. And we're continuing this series that I was talking to Pastor Ronnie about, and I'm going to talk about that to Pastor Joseph as well, which is worship or worshipped. Yeah. And we're talking about that culture. But welcome. Why don't you tell us about what you're up to right now and who you are for all the few people who don't know you.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Pastor Ranjit. I love you. Thank you for having me. So my name is Joseph, and it is Joseph Raj Allam, and I come from Mumbai. I am a son, brother, husband, father, and I am music producer and singer by profession. I have my home, a small home studio.
Yeah.
And I come from Mumbai, and it's a beautiful city. I work with my father. He's a wonderful man of God, Pastor Anthony Raj. Some of you might know him. If not him, you might be familiar with his songs like Tu Pyar Ka Sagar,
yeah,
and Raho Mein Kaate, and many more songs. So he is a man of God, worshipper, pastor, preacher. So that's who I am. Yeah.
So we were talking last time also this culture of worship.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like, because I know you in real life. You're not a very talkative kind of a person.
Yeah.
But when you start singing and you start worshiping, it's just like another Joseph is coming out. So
yeah.
All these years of serving alongside with your dad and all of those things, like what are you feeling now that the world thinks that, oh, everybody knows me, I've written this hit song which is Sadaa Raja, that I think most of the Indian population around the world would have heard. So how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling good about yourself? You're feeling like, dude, I've done something in ministry, I finally arrived, or what? What are you feeling?
See, frankly speaking, I don't know, it does not excite me. Even the followers, the song, the popularity, the views on the song, nothing excites me because my audience is different. So
what do you mean?
My audience is not the viewers. I sing for God. And even when I was not famous, even when Teri Stuti Main Karu came, I think it was 7-8 years back, and even then my agenda was not views or subscribers. I had no idea about what subscriptions are, what is watch party and all those stuff.
Verbages,
yeah, nothing. I just I was just faithful to what the Lord has blessed me with. He has given me one tool, and that is voice, and I just started using it, and so nothing has changed for me. If it is Teri Stuti Main Karu, Sadaa Raja, everything remains the same. Only the people, a different, what do you say, a different group of people started accepting me. Teri Stuti Main Karu had a different audience. Sadaa Raja has a different audience. So yes, the Lord has opened a lot of doors, but me personally, I remain the same. So nothing,
you know what I love about you is that you're such a uh, you're faithful to the ministry of your father,
Yeah.
which at this juncture could, for many people, feel almost like, it's like holding you back,
Right.
and you're in Mumbai and you're helping out with your father in the church.
Right.
Have you met people, or have you felt, like, or have you felt that, no, this is what I want? Have people told you, yeah, Joseph, what are you doing, bro? You can go to another city, you can go abroad, you can do this, you can do that. And have people try to, like, discourage you where you are planted in your local church, or how has it been?
Yeah, so there were a lot of prophecies that you'll be traveling to this country, you'll be settling down in this country. But I personally, I never felt that, working with my father or, being in the same church was a mistake. And, being in ministry, first of all, being a PK, I see a lot of PKs, pastors' kids, they don't want to be in ministry for various reasons. But for me, I really enjoy, working for God with my father. And I always remember Samuel and Hannah. Hannah never asked Samuel if you want to be in the house of God,
Yeah.
if you want to be a prophet. And now, if I was Samuel, today's Samuel, I would post on social media, my mom, hashtag bad mom.
Yeah.
How can she choose for me? I don't want to become a prophet, I want to become someone else
Yeah.
or something else. But then it was Hannah who chose, that Samuel should become a prophet, or he should be in the house of God. And it was simply Samuel's obedience where he encountered God. So even for me, no one pushed me to be in the ministry. My father never pushed me. In fact, he used to tell, I am by profession, I am an LIC agent also.
Wow.
Yeah. So even now, 2 days back, I got a call from there's this agency called Edelweiss.
Yeah.
So I am an agent there because my father taught, ministry is good, but you should do something. You should start talking to people because, as you said, I am an introvert guy.
Yeah.
So you should go out. You should talk to people. You should visit houses. You should sell stuff so that you become more confident. So I did all the course of salesman and everything. So he actually never promoted me. Celebrity kid hai, so this is my son, तो इसको सब जगह लेके जाओ. He'll open for me, he'll sing 5 songs, then I will come. So he never promoted me. I believe it was God's hand over my life, and he appointed me, he chose me, and I have no regrets. I absolutely enjoy whatever I'm doing, my ministry, singing, preaching, whatever I do. It is my choice and I love it.
Many people have this misconception that I forgot to ask Ronnie this question also, which is that, if you're a worship leader, you're a worship leader. You can't be anything more or less.
Yeah.
And
Just come sing and go.
yeah, just come sing, do your thing and go back. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, what advice would you give? Suppose if the whole worship leading fraternity was listening to you right now, what would be the few things that you could suggest that everybody should view the church as a whole in India when they invite worship leaders? These are a few things that we should adjust. These are the few things that we should change. Would there be anything that you would like to suggest, like how the way we approach worship leaders? Anything?
I feel, a lot of worshippers are worshippers in the, in the public place. So they are not true worshippers in the private place. So once you become a true worshipper when you are private, only you and God. So the entire what do you say, dynamic changes. So when you talk about worship or worshipped, so if I feel that's happening, then I should be the one, who should take the responsibility to change. For example, if someone is inviting me and I see if this is the culture, then I should bring the change, that because you are calling me to lead a group of people, and if I fail to lead you to the one who is worthy to be worshipped, then I take all the glory. And then, that's a sin. So if I see that's happening, and, if you are listening to me, if you are in that culture where you see you are being worshipped, then you take the first step, see what changes you can bring. And, always remember that you are called. So if you are called, you should always remember the caller. A lot of people think they are called. What are they called for? Kisne bola hai, pata nahi hai. So if you are called, always be in contact with your caller, so that you are aware of the seasons, you are aware of what the Lord is about to do in this specific season, so that you can lead the entire congregation, you can lead the entire nation towards God and not towards your own ministry. We are not here to build our own ministry, we are not here to build our own church, but eventually we are here to bring the entire nation, the entire group of people to the throne of God. So if you know who the caller is, if you know who you worship, you can bring them to his throne.
Did you ever think that Sadaa Raja would be a popular song, or did you think that it would not be a popular song? Because many times as a worship leader, when you write a song, the songs that I thought would do, that are my favorite songs, people are like, that song sucks, or they don't like it, or whatever may be the case, right? So when you wrote Sadaa Raja, was it something that you felt that is going to, or was it something close to your heart, you felt is going to do well, or whatever?
Yeah, so Sadaa Raja was written in a camp, songwriting camp, and there were a few challenges. And then when I came back home, I still remember, and I was excited about the song. I never thought that it will be this big, Sadaa Raja will be this big, but then I came back home. I had a raw recording of the song, and I told my wife Ketki, just listen to the song and see if you like it. And the first reaction was, what song is this? What is this? What genre is this? Jay, this will not work. And I was so discouraged, and I was so confident about the song, and then she was like, no, this will not work. Change the entire melody. And then I was like, okay. And then after 1 year, she is a part of the same song.
Yeah.
So I thought, I never thought that this song will be this big. Ketki thought that this song is useless because the melody and the entire, because now it is all about love, it is all about grace. So when Jesus rose, when he was risen, so the people he was with, they could not recognize him. So yes, we have one picture of Jesus who heals, who loves, who is gracious, but at the same time, he is the Lion of Judah.
Yeah.
He'll come back, he'll judge.
Yeah.
So yes, we need to talk about his love, grace, but yes, he is the King of Kings.
We don't want to talk about his might.
Yeah, the might and the power, what do you say? The authority, the judgment,
everlasting nature of who he is.
So the song, coming back to your question, this song, we never thought that this will become this big, and it was similar with Teri Stuti also. We never thought this song will. In fact, Teri Stuti Mein Karu has testimonies where people heard the song for the first time. They were new believers, and they were baptized on the same day.
Wow.
Just by hearing the song. And I get a lot of testimonies, especially from Bangladesh, Pakistan, where they visited a house church, and someone sang the song, and they were touched by the song, and they were baptized. So for us, it was never.
Isn't it so ironic that when you look at the landscape of worship leaders right now, and worship scene or whatever may be the case, there's a whole list. Like if I want to call somebody, bhai sahab ye chahiye, wo chahiye, they want this, they want ye pani chahiye, ye hotel chahiye, whatever may be the case.
Yeah.
But isn't it so ironic that we don't talk about how many people got saved?
Correct.
How many people committed their lives to the Lord?
Correct.
Like, why don't we not have altar calls during worship services?
Right.
No, it's all about once more. And, my question is, what changes have you brought in the setting of yours, in your church, to change the worship culture of your church?
Yeah. So when I started, it was all about dancing. So the more you dance, the more anointing.
The more you pump.
Yeah. So for me, if you're not dancing, you're a sinner, and you're not enjoying, you're not worshipping. And then slowly, after few years, by the way, just last month I got to know that it is almost 20 years for me in the ministry.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I was just remembering someone, I was in Karnataka, and those guys came to me and they were like, "Do you remember us?" And I was like, "No." This is a funny question. Everybody thinks that.
I thought only Mallus asked that question. They all ask, "Ariyamo evidna, where I'm from?" Because they want you to tell which village they're from and all that. Because Mallus have this thing, na, that where's your house? That's how we start the conversation. Yeah. So then, what did he say?
And then I realized it is 20 years. And I asked him which year was it? So he told me it was 20 years back. And it was a small rally, something in Karnataka. So since then, because I saw a lot of worshippers then who would encourage, dance, clap, shout. And if you're not doing it, you're not pleasing God. And then you're not worshipping, you're not a true worshipper. And slowly I realized that, it's okay. Because there were times where I was not faithful to God. I still worshipped. I sinned. I came on stage. I came on altar. I worshipped. But still there was heavy presence of God.
Yeah.
And then I would ask, "Lord, why?" And then, one day the Spirit of the Lord told me that it is not you. There is this one girl, there's this one auntie who has spent a good, amount of time in my presence. And just because you were not faithful, I cannot,
negate what to do in their life.
So there are a lot of people there, they are here in my presence, and they will be full. So there is this one lady who is worshipping me in truth and spirit, and I am honoring her and not you. Just because you are on stage, it doesn't mean that, the flow is from here.
Yeah.
It is from there, somewhere from behind. And then slowly I realized, dancing is good. And now I don't encourage people to dance, clap, because at the end, what I really feel is, me as a worship leader, for a lot of people, it can be a confirmation through my songs. For a lot of people, it can be some answers. For example, yesterday we were in CCC, and late night I got a message from one lady, and she told me that I can't thank you enough, the experience that I had. And it was not a worship song, it was Jhoom, a praise song. And I cannot tell you, I had a heavy heart, and it was for years. And the moment I came, the moment I heard you singing, there was peace.
Wow.
And that is forever, I feel. And these are the moments we are looking for. You can dance, you can get tired, and you can go back and sleep.
Yeah.
But then when you're going back, I really don't like people when they come and say, "Kya gaya yaar, kya maza aa gaya." But if you come to me personally, and if you say, I was I was trying to commit suicide, or I was far from God, and today I decide to come back to Jesus. So that's what we are here for. So that's the deal. Our worship is to bring you close to God. Our worship is not to excite you with songs, with different
Absolutely.
moves.
Isn't it? It's funny that you said that, because like the West,
Yeah.
we are becoming more of a seeker-friendly church
Right.
where we are willing to do anything to please the audience.
Correct.
तुमको क्या चाहिए? What do you want? You want dancing? I'll dance for you. It's like almost like we are like jokers. Whatever will entertain you,
Correct.
we are willing to do that. But actually, worship leaders are priests.
Yeah. True.
They are the ones that went before Joshua. They are the ones who went before and brought the presence of the Lord before every miraculous work
Correct.
that happened in the Israelites. So, it's important as people like yourself, who are in this movement and pushing forward this wave of worship. And is there something that you want to do or you've started doing which you would not do before when you go to different places, so that you are at least true to yourself that
Yeah.
God, I went, I did this,
Yeah.
whatever what is that one thing or two things that you do?
Yeah, so as you said, whenever I get a chance, at the end of my worship set, I would call people in front to the altar.
Yeah.
I would love to pray for them, specifically for the people who are wanting to be in the ministry, or I would just pray for them. And for I don't know for what reasons people. So in a meeting there are two people. One is a worship leader and one is the preacher.
Yeah.
So people think only the preacher can pray,
Yeah.
only the preacher can prophesy.
Absolutely.
So there are two lines. So my line is only for photos, and for all the prayers, the line is different. It
The
is
selfies and the prayers.
yeah. And if you want, some word of knowledge, prayer, so that's a different line. It is all towards the preacher. But now what I do is, I think, I don't know if I'll get a chance to pray later or no.
Yeah.
But then I take time. I just surrender myself, and I ask the Spirit of Lord if I can pray now, and give me names, and give me, if there are 100 people,
Yeah.
if I can pray individually, if I can just lay hands, if
Yeah.
I can just pray, and that's that is satisfying for me now.
Yeah.
So for me, dancing and all the stuff it is gone now. And at the end, if I can just pray, if I can just bring you back to your first love, and then when I go back home, and if I just get one message,
Yeah.
one person saying that I was lost, I had turned my face from God, but through your worship, I choose to come back. That is a successful meeting for me.
Not last question. We have more questions.
Yeah.
What if what if you lost your voice today?
Wow. Okay.
What would you do? Mean you can't sing. You can't do all that.
I can speak, I can talk.
No, you can speak. You can
I
talk,
can-
but you can't sing.
So I can I'll start speaking then. I'll start speaking on on how suddenly the things can change for you. And I remember one question I asked in my church: what if you know when is the Lord coming? And if you knew when the Lord is coming, you would work more for him.
Yeah.
So why don't you think that the Lord is coming tomorrow and then start working today?
Yeah.
Why are we thinking that about time hai?
Hmm.
So similarly, I would encourage people that you don't know if you have tomorrow. If I'm losing my voice tomorrow, I would make sure that I would release all. I have more than 50 songs. I would release all the songs today itself, be it acoustic version, be it Insta Live, be it Facebook Live, anything. Or I would give it to someone.
Wow, yeah.
Or I would give it to someone who is able, and I would just hand it over to her or him, and then I would request him, pray over him that he takes the songs ahead.
So, in summation, I'm saying that God is using you in a great way. And what would you like to tell the next generation of worshippers as to what have you learned in your journey of obviously 20 years in ministry, and you've seen the highs and lows of life, and what would you advise young people as to what is worship?
So worship is, for me, it is obedience. If you are called to just sit for some time, just sit. If you're called to serve, just serve. And there will come a time where the Lord will lift you up. And then if you want to become a worshipper, you are already a worshipper. So to worship, you don't need a voice. To worship, you don't need a guitar. Singing is just a tool. You know, and playing guitar is just a tool. When your pastor tells you to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and be the first one to be in the church and make coffee, that's how you're worshipping. And there will be a season where you're doing this for 8 years, 10 years, and then suddenly the Lord will lift you up. And that's what worship is for me. And that's what I still do in my church. I still fold wires. I still, whenever I get time, I clean chairs. Sometimes I feel, I think my dad forgets that I am the writer of Sadaa Raja, or, people know me. And that one day I told my dad, I think, I should just take a back seat, and I feel the younger generation should lead the worship. And he was like, हाँ वो सब ठीक है लेकिन तुम भी करो. तो for him, he knows that I am called, or matlab, I don't know why people think that worship is only for the beginners.
Yeah.
And then once you become a prophet, once you become a preacher,
don't stop singing,
stop worshipping. Then there is a different group who will worship, and I will just come and prophesy.
Yeah.
And there are worshippers who worship for 2 hours, then again the prophet comes and then he worships for 2 hours, as if we were not worshipping correct. Yeah. So you are a worshipper wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're worshipping God. Change your audience. Your audience is not man, it is God. Please God, know the one who calls you. And one more thing, if you want to be in ministry, what I used to think is, the more you get tired, the more ministry you're doing. For example, on Sundays, if I'm doing 3 services, I'm getting very tired. Are yaar, bahut kaam kar liya. So tiredness does not define the level of ministry you're doing.
Yeah.
So this is what I've been seeing. कि यार इतना मतलब इधर से उधर आया, उधर से इधर गया. So in this you miss your family time, you miss being a good husband, you miss being a good father, you miss being a good son. So please remember, if you're starting off, your first ministry is your family. You have to come back to your family. For me, I don't want to hear people saying you're a good pastor and then my son saying that you're not a good father.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to hear both. People saying you're a good pastor, my son saying you're a good father, my wife saying you're a good husband. So be a good minister of God. Do less and do powerful, do impactful.
Amen. Well, thank you for that. Wonderful. I hope you guys understood, learned. It was great to chit chat and have a great conversation with you. And
Thank you.
love the Lord. Grow in knowing who He is, and He can use you. God is using anyone and everyone who's willing to be used by Him. So nobody special. Tell the Lord today, God, man looks at the outward, but you look at our hearts. So
Man,
God bless you. Thank you so much for coming, and
you, Pastor.
may God use you more and more in the future.
Thank
God bless.
you. God bless you.
See you next time.